You may not hear a lot of people say this, but I truly enjoy the titles that have been made by Sledgehammer Games for Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a game series that has got multiple games in it. You got the Modern Warfare series, you got the Black Ops series, you got the standalone titles like Ghosts, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, etc. And throughout every single Call of Duty game, there's always going to be issues, there's always going to be amazing things, there's always going to be weird things, there's going to be bad things, there's going to be a whole bunch of things that are in the game, good, bad, and the ugly. And when it comes to Call of Duty by Sledgehammer, there's only been two Call of Duty games that they've ever made, which is Advanced Warfare and now Call of Duty World War II. And for me personally, I really loved Advanced Warfare. I loved it ever since the very beginning because for me, that was a very big innovation for Call of Duty. I know a lot of people don't like the exosuits, and that's understandable, and I completely get that 100%. But for me, in my personal opinion, me and my friends all really did enjoy Advanced Warfare back in the day. In fact, I would consider it one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time. It's not the best, but it's definitely one of my favorites for the sheer memories and also the amount of time I invested into the game. I got several ranks. In fact, I actually hit the most ranks in that game and probably did the most amount of stuff in that game. My second probably would be Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3, I got hero gear for every character. I got hero gear on, Nomad, the guy with the rejack ability that no one probably ever got just because, nobody really likes rejack after the beta. I even got it for Profit, where glitch kills, in rapid succession were very difficult to get. I got it for Ruin, when even though gravity spikes, getting multi-kills sounds easy, but if you try to do it for some reason, you can't do them at all. And then when you suddenly stop trying to go for the challenge, then it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I don't understand that philosophy, but I was able to bear all the challenges, and I was able to get hero gear for everybody. I got Dark Matter on all the guns. I got Prestige Master, level, I think I'm like 300 plus, so I spent a lot of time ranking up in that game as well. But with Advanced Warfare, I got to Grand Prestige 7, which is Prestige Master, and then 7 additional Prestiges, which is really a lot of Prestiges. I think that equals up to 22 Prestiges in total. I got a whole bunch of gear. There was no particular gear set for challenges like a hero gear or whatever back in Advanced Warfare, but I definitely got a lot of the customizable pieces through the supply drops and just ranking up and stuff like that. Never got the purple outfit for the max rank or the Grand Prestige Master outfit, but at the end of the day, it really wouldn't have been that much of a big deal anyways. Pretty much the royalty gear would have been a suitable substitute. And then for Advanced Warfare, I also ended up getting a lot of the elite gun collections. I actually got all the guns that I wanted in Advanced Warfare despite the loot system. I got the ASM-1 Speakeasy, the Battle Obsidian Steed, the HBR-A3 Insanity, the ARX Steel Bites. I got a whole bunch of guns in Advanced Warfare. In fact, I'm actually really satisfied with the amount of dedication that I had with Advanced Warfare, because there's not a lot of people that can say, oh yeah, I have all this stuff done in Advanced Warfare, because a lot of people gave up on it because a lot of people didn't like the innovation that Sledgehammer tried to do. And the thing is with Sledgehammer is that they're not afraid to innovate. Same thing with Treyarch. Infinity Ward's kind of more meh with their innovation. They would rather just kind of stick with their own thing. They've innovated before, but they kind of like to stick with their normal thing, which I can respect. But the thing is, though, with Sledgehammer, I would say they're my second favorite developer. Treyarch number 1, Sledgehammer number 2, Infinity Ward or current Infinity Ward last. Now with Sledgehammer, just because they're second, or in this case the second best or the second worst, it doesn't mean that they're a bad developer. Call of Duty World War II, it's not the best Call of Duty in my opinion. I think it's a mediocre Call of Duty. In fact, I would say I would actually like to play Advanced Warfare more than Call of Duty World War II, just because Call of Duty World War II, there's no really drive to play that game for me. I have my moments when there's a new update or new DLC, and I have these moments where I'm really motivated to do stuff because there's actually some fun stuff to do. But Advanced Warfare, there was always something for me to do, whether it be grinding for new guns, ranking up, trying to get new loots like outfits, or trying to play the brand new game modes or whatever. Advanced Warfare 2, in my opinion, would have actually been a better call, but at a later date. I still hope that later down the line we actually see an Advanced Warfare 2 from Sledgehammer. I know a lot of people might not like the sounds of that, but hear me out for a second. Sledgehammer originally was setting up Advanced Warfare for an Advanced Warfare 2. I don't know if you guys remember this, but just like Call of Duty Ghosts, there was a cutscene in one of the game modes that was setting up for a sequel, and this was in the Exo Zombies game mode. When Oz ended up getting killed in the final map Descent, there was a cutscene for when you completed the Easter egg, I believe, where Oz was actually underneath the map in kind of like this cloning area, and there was multiple duplicates of him, and one of the clones actually woke up, and the clone looked into the middle of the camera and just like started staring at the the lens and everything, and so therefore it set up as a sequel that Oz would come back. And Advanced Warfare 2 never ended up happening because it got scrapped. It was in the middle of development, and then we got Call of Duty World War II. So with Call of Duty World War II, we don't really have that kind of innovation or development time like we could have had with Advanced Warfare 2 because it got scrapped halfway through. So technically the game's not 3 years worth of work. And that's the unfortunate thing, and a lot of people notice that because having 9 multiplayer maps by default, having really, really lackluster, gameplay, having these bugs or whatever, having things that are added into the game later, months down the line when they should just be in the game by default, it shows that the game was not developed for 3 years, maybe probably like 2. And the thing is, though, is that technically would show what it would be like if Sledgehammer was developing a Call of Duty for only 2 years of development, like Infinity Ward and Treyarch used to do. And that's kind of funny because, like, I think that Advanced Warfare 1, hopefully, because I hope we see an Advanced Warfare 2. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that one. But Advanced Warfare, the original one, I think that with Advanced Warfare there was a lot more credibility with that game because there was a lot more stuff to do and there was a lot more stuff that could get done. And despite the glitches that were on the last gen port, 'cause that's what I actually played, the game was pretty damn good in my opinion. And with Call of Duty World War II, I just can't quite say the same for that because there's not really a lot of stuff to do in Call of Duty World War II. You have the guns that you can sometimes get. You have the new updates that come out every now and then where there's new gear or whatever to wear. Like you can do the Leprechaun Hunt game mode that was out recently. You can end up doing a whole bunch of stuff like that. But it doesn't really have a replay value. You do it once and then it's done. And that's the unfortunate thing, is that you can't just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and be satisfied. It doesn't have a grinding factor to it is what I'm getting at basically here. Now with Call of Duty World War II, the basic gameplay, in my opinion, is actually pretty decent. I say that this is an average Call of Duty game. I would say that Advanced Warfare is better than Call of Duty World War II, but I wouldn't say that Call of Duty World War II is bad, because I actually like Sledgehammer's titles, and I would say it's actually a decent Call of Duty. I would say that Call of Duty World War II is a mediocre Call of Duty at best. It's not the best, it's not better than Advanced Warfare, but it's okay, and that's just my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion, by all means, you can let me know in the comments down below, but that's just me. I think that it's a okay Call of Duty. Not perfect, not even great, it's just okay. It's kind of like MWR or Modern Warfare Remastered logic for me. Modern Warfare Remastered was okay, it had some innovations, it had some things, but other than that, it was just basically COD 4 minus a couple of exceptions. And since I played the original COD 4, there was nothing really new for me, so Modern Warfare Remastered was an okay Call of Duty. Call of Duty World War II kind of reminds me of Call of Duty Ghost. It's got very lackluster maps, lackluster kill streaks, the gunplay is okay, the connection seems fine for the most part. It's like a lot like Call of Duty Ghost to me. It's just a boring but mediocre Call of Duty game. And when I see Call of Duty World War II getting hated on, whatever, I feel like it's kind of like blind hatred, because Sledgehammer, when it comes to their titles, we're not really familiar as much as we are with Treyarch or even Infinity Ward, because Infinity Ward and Treyarch have been around for longer, and I feel like that Sledgehammer really hasn't gotten a chance to prove themselves worthy, of being, the Call of Duty, developers that we want them to be. They haven't really gotten a chance because we've been kind of just shutting them down just because we don't want change. Call of Duty is never going to be perfect. Call of Duty, even back in the glory days where everything was considered amazing, there were still problems in that game. A lot of people tend to forget all the, bugs that happened with all the old Call of Duty games because they're all wearing nostalgia glasses. Who remembers, in fact, this is actually kind of funny because a lot of people had this problem with Modern Warfare Remastered because they were all like, oh yeah, Modern Warfare is getting remastered, and then they remember all the game-breaking problems that thing had. You had Martyrdom, you had Last Stand, you had, Frag times 3, Flashes times 3, you had the overpowered M16. With Call of Duty World at War, there was the MP40 Juggernaut spam, and lag, and the zombies, you couldn't knife ever, because I'm talking about all game modes, not just multiplayer here. I'm talking about bugs across everything. Modern Warfare 2, the infamous noob tube tubes with One Man Army and Danger Close, Black Ops 1, Second Chance and Ghost, Modern Warfare 3, Last Stand, Black Ops 2, Quick Scoping. I mean, I could go on and on and on about every Call of Duty's main problems that I can think of. No Call of Duty, no game period is ever going to be perfect. And I think that the reason why we have the Call of Duty cycle where the last Call of Duty is considered better than the current Call of Duty is because the first Call of Duty that we ever end up playing is going to be obviously our favorites probably, just because that's our our first Call of Duty. We have nothing really to compare it to, but anything else kind of after that point, we always look back and be like, oh, the previous game is better. And I think the reason why we do that is because not only number one of nostalgia, but number two, the game's not really even finished. Sure, the games, the old Call of Duties you would consider finished, and even some of the new Call of Duties are considered finished to a certain degree. But every Call of Duty after launch has gotten patched where some guns got nerfed, buffed, map exploits been fixed. So no Call of Duty is ever released at launch and had 0 patches afterwards. Throughout a whole entire Call of Duty cycle, 1 year of a new current Call of Duty game, there's always something changed. So never is a Call of Duty exactly the same way as from launch. And the thing is, though, is that typically after the launch, after all the patches and everything, and then the next Call of Duty's out, the reason why the previous Call of Duty seems so good is because it's gotten all the bugs fixed. It's gotten all the nerfs for certain guns that were overpowered, all the buffs to all the underpowered stuff. It's gotten the map exploits and the glitches under the map and out of the map fixed. It's gotten all the reworks that it needs to actually make it a suitable Call of Duty game, and that's what makes it fun, is because it's been fixed and we've saw what we wanted and we saw what we didn't want, and then they fixed it. That's why I think that the previous Call of Duty is always considered better in people's eyes, because it's been fixed to the way that the community would want it. That's why everyone, I think, likes all the old Call of Duty games. Now, when it comes to Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty World War II is in an area right now where people are bored of it and just sick of Call of Duty. Fortnite, it's just kicking Call of Duty's ass. If you're a Call of Duty fanboy, or you just like Call of Duty and you want it to come back, I'm truly and utterly sorry for you, because if you never got to experience the old Call of Duty games, the old Call of Duty games, from COD 4 up to Black Ops 2, I mean, hell, even probably Call of Duty Ghosts, because that was the official last Call of Duty, despite it being lackluster, that didn't have supply drops and all the BS that we got now. But, when it comes to the old Call of Duty games, if you never played them, I'm truly sorry for you, because a lot of the old Call of Duties were great. I know a lot of people are still on 360, but a lot of people also have moved on and gotten a next generation console and might not even have an Xbox One for backwards compatibility and never got to experience the old Call of Duty games. Because even though you may never truly experience a Call of Duty like everyone else used to back in the day, if you have an Xbox One or you have a PC and you can go back due to backwards compatibility, or you just have a copy, or you can even borrow a copy or something like that and just give it a try and play it in modern times, even though it may not be what it would have been like in the golden days, let's say the year that game came out, you can still play and see what it would have been like, so you can know how fun it would have been to play the old Call of Duties. Because the new Call of Duties, that's not the standard, for Call of Duty. The standard is the old Call of Duties, the ones that were from 2007 up to 2012. That is the golden age of Call of Duty for a lot of people. COD 4 up to Black Ops 2. And when it comes to Call of Duty World War II, I see it as a lackluster Call of Duty. In my opinion, Call of Duty World War II is not great by any means, not even close. It's not going to beat anything that I played in the past. I would say that this is a mediocre Call of Duty at best, but it suffices. It's actually an okay game. And a lot of people, I think, give it unnecessary hate because they just don't want to have to deal with all the problems, or feel like it's, forced upon them. If you don't like the game, you don't play it. That's just as simple as that. So with Call of Duty World War II, what I'm trying to finally lead up to here, instead of actually just just seeing the update like everybody else. I don't want to be every other YouTuber and be like, oh, hey guys, we got some new patch notes here. I don't want to sound like a carbon copy of everybody, so I want to have a little bit of build up here. Well, actually, a lot of build up, because it's already been 14 minutes before I even got to the actual topic of the video. But I wanted to talk about how that Call of Duty World War II has gotten a massive rework, and it's going to be amazing for the game. Call of Duty World War II is getting an update on the 10th of April, which allows it to be basically a new game. Call of Duty World War II is going to be definitely a lot better after this update, because they're not just nerfing a gun, they're not just buffing a gun, they're not fixing an exploit for out of the map, they're not buffing, a kill streak, they're not changing a map or adding a map. They're literally revamping the whole entire goddamn game. Call of Duty World War II is going to be a completely different game on the 10th of April. That is going to be insane, because what I'm about to read to you guys is the patch notes for the update that's coming out on the 10th. I'm not going to be listing all of them, because otherwise we'd be here all day, and this would be like a 40-minute video if I talked about every single thing and every single bit of detail about it and what it can mean. So I'm just going to be giving you a summary of the main key points and the main things that I'm really looking forward to, but I will provide a link down below in the description to a video that summarizes it pretty well, and probably also the actual link for the actual patch notes that's going to be coming up. So I'm going to be talking about my main things here that I'm really looking forward to, and hopefully you guys end up enjoying it. So let's talk about this patch that's coming out on the 10th. So Call of Duty World War II is going to be getting a massive patch that's going to be changing a whole bunch of things, adding new things, even removing some things that will make the game feel a lot better. They're going to be reworking the division system completely. So the Call of Duty World War II division system, for those of you guys that don't know, is basically the perks. The Call of Duty World War II division system allows you to have certain abilities when you're using a certain division, and even stacking it with certain types of classes of guns, so that way you have the ability to have certain things available on that gun or in your class. Like, for example, the LMGs, you get a bipod, you get a bayonet with the assault rifles, a suppressor with the SMGs, stuff like that. And you can also end up running faster and stuff like that with certain perks, and being able to reload quicker, and having more grenades, or having more powerful grenades or whatever, just stuff like that, random things like that. Now, they're going to be completely redoing the whole entire division and the perk system. So they're going to be making it kind of like the old Call of Duty system, but still keeping divisions in. So this is what they're going to be doing mostly. They're going to be taking all the special abilities or weapons that are on the divisions, and they're going to be just making them normal attachments. So the bayonet for the assault rifles, that's not going to be default on the gun from now on with the division. It's just going to be an attachment for an assault rifle. The suppressor is no longer going to be exclusive to SMGs. You can also put it on your pistols as well now. So it's not just exclusive to one gun class. It's not going to be available on everything, but at least it'll be on pistols now, which is, I guess, is just kind of cool. The armor division, the bipod by default is just going to be on the gun, I believe, so you don't have to worry about being in the armor division to actually be able to do it just by default there, I think. With the mountain division, it doesn't matter what gun I believe you have. I think that just whatever gun you're using, you can now hold your breath. When it also comes to the expeditionary division, I believe that they're also going to be making it so that way the incendiary shells will have more range, and they also will just be a little bit more stronger, and you'll be able to end up having a lot more capacity and ammo and stuff like that. I think that they're kind of reworking a little bit of things. Like, for example, infantry, you get an additional attachment now, and you also end up getting extra reserve ammo. Airborne, you're able to kind of run faster and reload while sprinting and diving and hip firing and stuff like that. You can pretty much do all of the perk abilities now with just the division, and you can end up just using the default division attachments just on the gun without the division in the first place. So if I kind of want to, I could use the suppressed grease gun with being in the infantry division or whatever. Or I can use the bayoneted bar, but I can be in the armor division, stuff like that. And, they're going to be also combining and adding and removing some, perks and stuff like that. So, for example, they're going to be getting rid of the ribbons Bang and Primed, and they're going to be combining them, I believe, into certain divisions. So, Primed is actually going to be a part of the Armored division. So, now with Armored, you have less flinch instead of just needing Primed on. So, they're just going to be removing Primed altogether. They're combining, the extra attachment ability, I believe, just to Infantry, but then the lack of flinch is going to be in the Armored division. And then, stuff like Hustle is going to be in Airborne, where you can shoot while moving and you can reload, while moving and stuff like that. So you can just kind of combine them now, so it's not really that much of a pain in the ass to have to pick one, for this really obscure circumstance. They're just there for whenever you need them. You're going to be getting unlimited sprint on every single one of your classes, no matter what. Now they're adding that into the game by default, which, thank God. That was something that a lot of people really wanted, including myself, because I really, really like it how that the game is not chaotic like Advanced Warfare, where people exo jump all over the place, but it's also really, really slow. I would rather have chaos than boredom, if I'm going to be honest with you. That's kind of why I actually liked Advanced Warfare more than Call of Duty World War II, because Call of Duty World War II is boring to me, and Advanced Warfare is just chaotic. Sure, the exosuits pissed me off, but I would rather have chaos and be able to get me a couple kills, kind of like Shipment and COD 4 compared to Shipment and COD Ghosts, where it was chaos, and then when they made it bigger it was slower and kind of more boring. But when it comes to chaos and the slowness, I know that's a lot of people's different opinions. Some people like chaos and some people like it controlled and slow. That's why I originally didn't like Rainbow Six Siege, because I thought it was slow and boring. But people like it controlled that way. That's why I also like things such as Overwatch and some of the old Call of Duty games, because I like chaos. And things like Rainbow, which is more of Jake's thing, as an example, he likes more controlled things, and that's also why he likes Call of Duty Ghost. I know that's completely random, but I like chaos. My friends sometimes like slow stuff. And when it comes to the divisions and the perk reworks and all this unlimited sprint and stuff like that, and the gun changes and all that good stuff, all these things, in my opinion, are good for the game. The game needed this very, very badly. Did it need a rework? Now, I didn't expect to see something really tremendously big when Call of Duty World War II first came out. I wasn't expecting a rework like this. I was expecting a gun buff, a gun nerf, exploit fixes, free DLC, paid DLC maybe, but I was never expecting a whole entire rework of the whole entire game. That very, very much surprised me. I was very caught off guard when it came to hearing this update, because they're changing a lot of stuff. They're basically remastering Call of Duty World War II while it's still the current game. So if you wanted a Call of Duty World War II remastered, here you go, which is kind of really funny. But at the end of the day, when it comes to this update, with the unlimited sprint now available on everything, being able to have certain divisions have easier or more fun abilities, and having the ribbons being removed or reworked. They're also going to be adding in a new division soon, which will allow you to have an extra kill streak and make it so that way only kills can be earnable for your streaks. It's apparently, I believe, a new division or a new ribbon. I don't remember exactly. I think it's actually a new ribbon. Originally, it was supposed to be leaked as the Grenader division, I think is what it was called. I'm probably getting that wrong because I don't fully pay attention to all the news regarding Call of Duty World War II, but I try to keep up to a certain degree, just so I know, when I hop on the game, what to expect. But there was apparently a leaked division where you could have an extra score streak, and it would be buffed or whatever, so that way it actually got you more kills or whatever. But apparently, I guess it's a ribbon now, so there's apparently going to be a new ribbon where your kill streaks are buffed, and you get an additional one as well. So you have 4, like the one ability in Advanced Warfare, where you used to have 4 streaks, because that was actually a thing back in Sledgehammer's last game, where you could have 4 streaks. I don't know if you guys remember that. But you can have 4 streaks, they're buffed, and they're only going to be earnable via kills like the old Call of Duty game. So no score streaks when you use this ribbon, it's all kill streaks. But in my opinion, that makes it easier, because the UAV is 4 kills instead of it being 400 score or 500 score, which is basically 5 kills or hopping on the flag a couple of times in domination and then getting some more kills, but with 50 points per kill lately, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be either that or 75. I feel like that Sledgehammer won't ever re-add 100 points per kill in Dom again. But with these game modes where there's limited score, it really actually makes sense more to use the kill streak type ribbon here, because it not only buffs the streaks, but it's going to be based off of kills anyways, and everyone just kills anyway in Call of Duty. Nobody plays the objective to quite begin with anyway, so it's just really nice to see that Sledgehammer is willing to change when it is due. And a lot of it probably comes from Fortnite. Fortnite has been kicking Call of Duty's ass, and Call of Duty's definitely not the king anymore. It is Fortnite. One of the things that I actually wanted to mention about the game Fortnite for you guys is I actually wanted to mention this in my original video talking about why I think that Fortnite's one of the best games we've had in years. This was a fact I wanted to mention. Fortnite's actually surpassed Minecraft in terms of actual views on YouTube. If you actually go to YouTube, there is more search results, I guess, for Fortnite than there is for Minecraft, which is just insane, because Call of Duty and Minecraft, those were at one point the 2 best games on YouTube. Call of Duty from COD 4 up to Black Ops 2 was the number 1 search thing for YouTube, and then it was Minecraft, I guess, for a while, and now Minecraft finally got surpassed by Fortnite, which is just insane, because Minecraft it's still huge despite it being old. Minecraft's just Minecraft, so that's really, really cool. And to see that Fortnite is doing so well, it's making all these other developers have to actually have competition and making their games better, and whether that be carbon copying, there's rumors to be a Battle Royale mode in Call of Duty, which I really don't want to see, to be honest with you, because I don't want to see a lackluster copycat. Just I get that you could say anything is a copycat, like PUBG was copied by Fortnite, or PUBG copied H1Z1, blah blah blah. But I like competition, but with originality. I don't want to just see battle royale, battle royale, battle royale, battle royale. I don't want to see just a battle royale game mode in every single game. That'd just be kind of boring and repetitive, in my opinion, then ruin the game mode altogether. But it's just whatever your opinion is like, you know, what matters at the end of the day. If you want to see Call of Duty make a battle royale game mode, let me know. I mean, I really wouldn't want to see it because I think it'd be kind of stupid. That's because they would probably do something like add kill streaks or something like that, just as an example of something that would be very frustrating. But at the end of the day, what I wanted to conclude with this video, because this video is already about to be a half an hour long, but I want to give my full thoughts and opinions on this. Just think about it as like a news video and a commentary put together in one. When it comes to the video and what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is that I'm really glad to see that Sledgehammer is taking care of their game. It really makes me genuinely happy to know that this game is still being supported. Advanced Warfare, in my opinion, was better, but Call of Duty World War II is on the right track for being a good Call of Duty game, and I feel like that when Black Ops 4 comes out, even though obviously that's probably going to be the more superior game, I feel like that people will look back on Call of Duty World War II and actually say, hey, this actually wasn't that bad of a COD. Because if we're going to actually live to the standard of saying that Infinite Warfare is better than this game, I mean, I just don't want to be alive anymore, because Infinite Warfare was not just the worst Call of Duty, it was the worst game I've ever played my whole entire life. And if we're saying that that's better than this, I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, where does our standards drop to? Holy cow. But anyways, at the end of the day, you know, Call of Duty World War II, glad to see it's actually getting support, glad to see that they're willing to change when necessary, and I'm actually happy that the game is actually getting better. It makes me genuinely happy, and I'm looking forward to playing this game again. Hopefully we can see a score streak buff by default, not with just this ribbon. I would like to see that, and then maybe some more additional free maps, so that way we have more variety other than Gustav Cannon and USS Texas, because of my god, if I have to keep playing those two maps, I'm going to skin myself alive, because I hate those with all my heart. But anyways, guys, this is going to be basically today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, what I had to talk about. I didn't want to be a carbon copy of every YouTuber and just basically say the patch notes basically word for word. I wanted to give you guys my opinions on them and even a little bit of a lead up to it. So I hope you guys ended up enjoying. If you guys liked today's video and you guys do want to see some more Call of Duty or just Call of Duty World War II or just want to see more videos in general, feel free to leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here, because that's really appreciated. And I'll let you guys know when I'm uploading another video. Make sure you guys also turn on the notification bell so that way you guys are always notified for when I upload, just in case the sub boxes mess up on YouTube, because they've been doing that a lot lately. And anyways, guys, hope you guys ended up enjoying, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.